So in the previous video, we learned about basic operations in Python, and today we are going to learn about types of numbers that you are likely to use in Python. And if you haven't watched the previous video, I'll drop the link on the subscription or on the description. You can check the video. It's kind of a build-up. This one is a build-up to the previous video. So there are four types of numbers that you are likely to use in Python. The first one is plain integers, and then the second one is long integers, and then third one floating points, and the last one is complex numbers. So let's start with the plain integers. So plain integers are basically numbers from -2 raised to power 31 to +2 raised to power 31. So by default, any number that is written without a decimal point in Python is a plain integer. So if we write 13, that's a plain integer. If we write 13.1 point nothing, this is a floating number. So get the difference. They have the fractional part. If I've got 13 divided by 2, the answer will be floating point or a floating number. Long integers are basically numbers that doesn't fall between -2 times -2 raised to power 31 and +2 raised to power 31. Also any number beyond that, such as a huge number, like maybe if we do just random numbers multiplied by another huge random number, that will give us a long integer. Initially in Python, it used to have a capital L at the end of it, but that is no longer the case in this new Python version. So there's hard to tell if it's a long integer. So that's the second one. The third number is floating, and as I explained, floating numbers are basically numbers with the fractional part, and they usually extend from -2 times 10 raised to power -308 to +2 times 10 raised to power 308. So by default, if you multiply any number with a floating number, the answer will be a floating number. So if I say 2, which is an integer, multiplied by 1.5, the answer is going to be a floating number. The next set of numbers that I want us to look at is what we call complex numbers. So complex numbers in Python, and for anyone who has got kind of a background in engineering or natural sciences, is made up of basically the real part and the imaginary part. So the imaginary part is normally written with J, or in some cases I. So if I write 3 minus 2I, sorry, it should be, let me use J, just clear screen to remove the error. So 2 minus 3J, that's a complex number. So the 2 is the real part, and 3J is the complex parts or the imaginary part of it. So J here in Python represents the negative of the square root, or it represents the square root of -1. So let's do some simple arithmetic operations with the complex numbers. So for a start, let's do 2 plus 3J multiplied by in just a random one, maybe -4 and 9, and see what the answer is. So what will happen is we are going to multiply elements of this first part to the elements of the second part, and that gives us our answer as 10 plus 15J. Let's use let's try another example. We can use you can even do division 2 plus 2j, then divide by our previous one, minus 4 plus 9. Let's see what the answer is. So that becomes our answer. So that is a brief introduction to Python. The basic idea is just know that Python has got 4 types of numbers: the long integer, the plain integer or simply integers, and then the floating point, which are decimals, and the complex numbers. So that's all about numbers. In our next video, we will look at a more complex things, or an advanced things or operations that we can do in Python. So if you like the video, hit the subscribe button so that you get the notifications when the next video will be up.